Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. We are now in day 14 of the Tyre Nichols federal hearing for the 3 Memphis police officers that are on trial for the beating death of Tyre Nichols and the infringement of his civil rights. Now, today, the medical examiner took the stand, and he had a lot of stuff to say about Tyre Nichols' condition when he was examined by him. And I guess we'll jump right into that. Take a look.
And today, the Shelby County medical examiner is taking the stand in the trial of 3 officers, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justice Smith, charged in the beating of Tyre Nichols. Dr. Marco Ross was called to share more on Nichols' injuries and his cause of death. April Thompson has been covering this trial for 2 weeks now and joins us live from the federal building with today's update. April.
Shay, that medical examiner described the injuries Tyre Nichols suffered after that beating, saying he had internal bleeding to the head, chest, and arm, as well as bruises and scrapes across his shoulders, chest, and abdomen. Injuries to his brain led him to go into cardiac arrest, and he also had kidney failure. He says Nichols died of blunt force trauma to the head. The injuries, had they not been lethal, could still have left him incapacitated. Defense attorneys questioned Dr. Ross on whether getting oxygen at the scene would have saved Tyre Nichols. He said it might have. Now, after the medical examiner, prosecutors called their next witness, and this is someone we haven't heard from before. Former Police Lieutenant Duane Smith. He was the supervisor over Scorpion Unit Team 1 when the incident happened with Tyre Nichols, and he says the officers who were under his authority never told him about punching and kicking and beating Tyre Nichols. He said he did not know that when he arrived on the scene, and he says the first time he saw the Sky Cop video was actually on the news. He said he didn't want to see it, saying, quote, "It was too much." Lieutenant Smith left the Memphis Police Department shortly after the Tyre Nichols incident in lieu of being terminated. Coming up on News Channel 3 at 5, we're going to have more on what he is saying right now on the stand. For your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Now I'm going to tell you something. The more I cover this story, the more madder I get. I'm going to tell you why. These people are trained police officers. And it seemed like the more training they had, the more stupider they were in their ways and actions. Not just with this Tyre Nichols fiasco, but other times where other people are coming forward and saying some of the stuff they did to them. You've seen it in my video archives when people came forward and talked about their encounters with the Scorpion team. They beat this man till he was nothing, like he was nothing. He mattered. He was somebody to some people, a lot of people. His story captured a nation. Because people know the difference between right and wrong. No matter what color you are, people came out en masse. Justice for Tyre. And hopefully he'll get it. With some semblance of it. Because I'm going to tell you something. No matter what they do to these people, it's not enough to equal the suffering this man went through. Medical examiner. Internal bleeding in his head. His arm. He had internal bleeding in his arm. And his chest. Scrape marks all over his body from getting pulled all over the place. Said even if he had oxygen, he might have lived, but he would have been nothing more but a vegetable because of all of the brain damage he suffered. For nothing. For nothing. Field Lieutenant Duane Smith was up on the stand. His ass need to stay up on that stand the rest of this damn trial. Because even though he didn't do the punching and kicking, he knew that the team he overseen, the Scorpion unit, was out there kicking ass and taking names. A lot of times for no goddamn reason. And that's your proof right there. That's your proof right there. He sound as stupid as he look. That's real. He sound as dumb as he look. And I'm going to tell you why. You pulled up. You telling these lawyers in court, I know he was beat up, kicked, and punched by them. That's because you ain't asked no damn questions. You stared at him because you knew normal people getting arrested and running don't look like that. What's wrong with you, man? You drunk or something? That's what he said. Did you take something? Now that we know all this, the damage that Tyre suffered at the hands of the Scorpion unit, namely Haley and Emmett Martin III, it's hard for me to sit here and listen, go back in my mind about when Tyre Nichols was on the ground, handcuffed, up against the car, writhing in pain, making all kind of moaning noises, the severity of the suffering he went through. I want you to think about that for a second. This man was beaten because they just picked him. They took their frustration out because they couldn't catch nobody else with their Keystone Coppery and made up a fictitious lie to put it on this man to make him villain of the century, and they beat him accordingly. Make it make sense. I told you before, this need to be tried as a hate crime. It does. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is how I prove it. The only way somebody can beat an innocent stranger, senseless, and with so much vengeance, you have to take the human element out of the human being to commit an atrocity such as this. See, the anger that they had and all of that was hatred. It might have been for the job, might have been for their present situation, might have been not wanting to be in the streets. Either way, they took it out on him. Thus, it's a hate crime. All of them guilty. Tadarius Bean, guilty. Justin Smith, Captain Scorpion, guilty. Emmett Martin III, guilty. Demetrius Haley, the King of Stairs, guilty. Get them all out of here. Lieutenant Duane Smith, guilty. He need to be sitting up there too. I ain't look at the sky cop cam. I didn't want to look at it. That's because you knew he was fucked up when you looked at him and stared at him like, damn, what did they do to this guy? You didn't ask no questions. Don't nobody know when somebody been in a fight? I'm asking you, the people. Leave it in the comment section. Don't you know when somebody done got their ass beat with hands and feet? We all know. He in court now, he's stupid. 20-something years on the force, and he don't know when somebody got punched and kicked in the goddamn face. That's what make me mad. The selective amnesia and the overall goofiness of not knowing nothing, but you put people in jail under the court of law or the color of law, whatever it's called. This is stupid. And the longer it's going on, the stupider it is getting. Let me break something down to y'all. I don't know what it is to be another colored man. I'm black. That's all I know. I don't know how it is to be a woman. So certain things about women that they go through, I don't speak about. But I do know this. If Tyre Nichols was white, he wouldn't have got his ass beat like that because they would have known better. These people were trained to look for and beat up criminals or people they thought committed crimes. This guy was in a parking. He was in a driving violation. That does not warrant getting your ass beat to death. And this is the thing, man. Regardless of what color you are in this country, there are always some type of racial stereotype that's attached to you, whether you want to know it or not. We all know this. They call America a melting pot, but it's only a melting pot in the ebbs and flow of how the country works. Everybody got their differences, their cultural differences, and that's okay. But I mean, stuff like this, where stereotypes equal prejudice, this is what happens. This is the type of stuff that happens. Oh, he just another nigga, we'll beat his ass. He doing something. Oh, if he ain't doing something, let's say he did something. This is no different than people planting drugs on people and putting guns on them and all kind of other stuff, falsifying documents, which is wrong. This guy is dead and he should still be here. He should still be here. I should have never had met his family. I should have never be making these videos about him. He should still be here and flourishing just like the rest of us. What about him that made him the enemy of you, the way you had to beat him like he smacked your kid or something? And I'm asking this to all of them. They should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Ashamed of themselves. And Lieutenant DuaneSmith, you ain't no better. Your dumb ass need to be over there. Did you hear the media? And I'm cool with WREG. Did you hear the media, how they worded that? I don't know if it's because they scared and get in trouble or not. DuaneSmith left the force in fear of getting fired. No, they let him retire with his benefits after he failed to report a crime, and he went and lied about it, just like Emmett Martin. He carried that lie to Tyre's parents, and nothing happens to him. I want you to think about something. You're in the house chilling. Your son is on his way home. You get a knock at the door at the police. Just down the street, if you come out the house and look to the left, you'll see where your son was beat to death. You go around the corner, talk to Hempfield, the white scorpion, go talk to him. He was doing something. We don't know that. And you out there like, the stuff y'all describing is not my son. I don't know about that. My son, that ain't Tyre, Well, man, we're telling you what we told. Then you go to the hospital and you see him with all of these injuries I described. And how he looked. He fought the police, did he? That man is as thin as sewing thread. And he gonna fight Emmett Martin III. And he gonna fight 6 people. Cause he on something. Pathetic. All of them need to get roasted right now. Gas up the chainsaw. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Justice for Tyre. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.